All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Unity of Dayton. My name is Georgia Chase Weiner, and I'll be assisting Rebecca Victor this morning. We're going to go ahead and open our service by singing Surely the Presence. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. All right, let's stay standing as we recite our mission statement. All right, we welcome all as we create loving community, teach universal truth, practice spiritual principles, and live life abundantly. You can sit down now. Not you. You got to come do an open prayer. Yeah, you got it.
So welcome everybody. It is so nice to see all of you and to be here with you again. So let's move into our opening prayer. And we're going to pray with all who are asking. So if there's a prayer, if there's a longing, there's a celebration, whatever it is, I ask that you please bring your mind into your heart right now. And let's take this time that you're doing that to allow for the gift of our unity to be that strength that's going to nurture us and support us. So as we move into this prayer, I give thanks for being able to be the voice of the many hearts and yet the one presence. I know that which is, which has always been, and which will always be, is that which is here in this moment. Simply experiencing what it is to be each and every aspect of its creation. So we welcome the understanding and the awareness of this love, each of us in our own way, and that way that touches our hearts, that moves our minds, that lifts our being. For this service to be that space and place to allow for us to open to that which is ours, to hear and to know, so that it will bless us. We can take it with us. And for this, I simply give thanks. And I say, and let it be.
Right, do we have anyone who is here for the very first time today? Can you go ahead and raise your hand? Our ushers will go ahead and bring you a welcome packet. I see one over on the wall over here.
Yeah.
Welcome. All right. And then we've got Rebecca Victor here as our guest speaker today. Rebecca has been seeking a greater spiritual understanding since she was a little one, trying to explain God and heaven to her friends in the parking lot next to her home. We all know what's really shining through the clouds and rays of sunshine, right? Rebecca's journey led her to study New Thought for over 25 years as a member of Centers for Spiritual Living. She was trained and licensed practitioner for 22 of those years, teaching New Thought principles to others whose hearts long for greater awareness and understanding. Rebecca continues her quest to live more fully the truth for who she is and is thrilled at all she is discovering. It is an honor to use her talents in support of others as they do the same. Welcome, Rebecca. All right, can I ask you guys to stand up again? We're going to go ahead and sing The Father and I Are One. Daily Word. The Daily Word for today is not the day of the word if you've got the book at home. We picked a different one for today. Today's word is sparkle. The affirmation is the radiant light of God shines brightly through me. There is a twinkle in my eye and a spring in my step today. Colors look brighter and the sounds of life entice me. Sensing the divine pulse beating within the heart of all things, I join in the rhythm, adding my own vibration to the song of the day. The light of God doesn't just surround me, it glows from within me, a beacon for all to see. God's love fills my heart to overflowing, and I take every chance I get to let that love flow. I feel the power of God pulsing through me, inspiring me to reach for the stars. The presence of God in all things illuminates them until they sparkle and gleam with radiant light. Awake and aware of the spirit within, I embody it for everyone to see. And the Bible verse is, "But everything exposed by the light becomes visible, for everything that becomes visible is light." Therefore, it says, "Sleeper, awake, arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." From Ephesians 5:13 and 14. Hi. You guys get to stand up again. And we're gonna sing again. Alrighty, everyone can sit back down, and Rebecca will come up and guide us through meditation.
I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let go, I release, I know. I
appreciate your breath. Allow yourself to be filled with ease. And then just let the breath go. And in your breathing, allow yourself to touch with your heart and your mind that sacred space that as you feel your breath, you are being led to. Let it guide you, your breath. For it is your life force. Feeling. Let it be a vehicle for quieting down. Let it be a vehicle to take you quietly or not so quietly. Just let it take you right as you are into that sacred space we're going to rest in for just a minute or so that you can start to tap in and feel more fully the wisdom and the guidance and the love that is inherent within you. So let's go quiet for a moment or so. There is a wisdom in this house. A wisdom that rests at the heart of each and every individual here and listening online. And we know as we come together that the wisdom that rests at the heart of each of us is the wisdom that is the one, expressing and shining and being itself uniquely, individually, what it has come to feel and to know and to be. So we acknowledge the wisdom. We acknowledge the love. We acknowledge the gift of coming together, knowing that there is power in that union that we share. And in gratitude and thanksgiving, I simply say yes, yes, and yes. like little celestials. I'm like, go. So I'm very glad to be here with all of you. And I want you to stay with me. That line that they sang. Say, I am holy. Do it with me. I am holy. Yeah. Let's do it again. Own it. I am holy. Yes. What an important thing. I'm going to try one more time. I remember when I first started in the teachings that I started with New Thought. And I remember the minister always repeating things 3 times. I'm like, why is she repeating things 3 times? Yeah. And so I was like, okay, let's do 3 because it's like a tree. And there's just something powerful about me because of the power of 3. So let's do that. I am light. One more time. Ready? I am light. Yeah. And that is what Sparkle is all about. It's about claiming and owning and being the light that we are. And I love to sparkle. How many like to sparkle here? How many of you have trouble sparkling? Yeah, because when you sparkle, you're out there, aren't you? There's no more shadows. And I used to hide. I hid a long time. So stepping forward and learning how to sparkle was a journey that I'm grateful I am taking. I started it, and I'm taking. But it's also one that causes me to have to look at things that keep me from sparkling. And in looking at them, and we'll talk about that a little later, means I recognize that they were part of my life experience and influenced how I saw things and myself. But in recognizing them and bringing them in and feeling them now as an adult doesn't mean that I have to own them anymore. But by acknowledging and receiving them, experiencing them, I can say, I don't need to own this anymore, and I can let it go, which is the gift of that light and that love that is there. Not only as we claim, but we are infused. We are surrounded in love. And I don't know about you, but that's been a hard thing for me to open to because I don't see it. It's like I don't see this love around me. I see people and friends, but when I'm in my car ride all alone, and I just called some dude an MF because they couldn't find me. But I may not feel really, centered. So I need to turn and say, okay, I gotta be willing to own that and love myself through the process. I'm realizing there's another way I can engage rather than calling the person a name. So in sparkling, what I want to share with you first is a song. How many of you ever saw The Greatest Showman? Okay. Well, it is a story about P.T. Barnum and how he moved out of obscurity, out of poverty, to claim and own a vision for himself. He was also very creative, and he tied it in. He was a misfit, though. He grew up feeling like he was a misfit. And so this is a story of how he gathered other people around him that were misfits, that felt misfit, and gave them a sense of owning their presence and to be able to live and thrive as a result of simply being who they were. But for them, being who they were, when he met them, did not feel very good because they were cast outs or outcasts or whatever, okay? They were not welcome in society. And so I'm going to show you a video of a song called This Is Me. And what you're going to see, and I hope, is you'll get to see how they stood and claimed who they were. First, they claimed it out there. They claimed it to the world. I don't care what you see, who you think I am, I know me. And I'm going to own you. And so this song is about that. So would you please play it? This is the original version for the show itself. So. Huh? Okay, can we go ahead? Okay, so she's gonna load it on hers? Okay, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get that. So let me tell you a little bit about this. Do you remember the part where the circus itself had become like, wow, people were really loving it. And P.T. Barnum was stepping forward and being acclaimed, okay, and being invited to posh experiences. But all these people with whom he worked, okay, who helped to build this, whom he gave a dream, were not invited. Okay? And then all of a sudden you get to experience the power of what it was to stop and say, I'm done not being acknowledged. I'm done not being appreciated. I'm gonna own me. I'm gonna own my value, my worth. And how many of you remember that song? Yeah, pretty powerful. And then a little later on, I'm going to show you another one. Same song, but instead of showing you the original version for TV, we're going to show you a rehearsal, where you're going to see what happens in a rehearsal for these musicians, these singers. You know, a vocalist to me is somebody who's studied, and I've studied music. But to me, when I think of a singer, it's someone that brings that music to life. Someone that gives it power, and gives it presence, and gives it feeling. So that second one we'll see a little later is where you're going to see her struggling with owning that song. Remember that? Anybody? Yeah. She struggled. I mean, tears, and she sang it. And then when you get to see the impact of that simple decision for her to own that song, step out from behind the podium, I want you to watch what happens to all the people who are with her singing and what they do. But in the meantime, when you think about Sparkle, tell me, what does it mean to you? Somebody shout out, what's it mean to you, Sparkle?
This little light of mine.
This little light of mine. Yeah. Exactly, this little light of mine. Anybody else?
Freedom.
Freedom. Sparkle means freedom, yes. Anybody else?
Joy.
Joy. Joy. What are some other words? Good. What are some other words we can give to what it is to Sparkle? Shine.
Love.
Love.
Smile.
Smile. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. What else? Laughter.
Sparkle.
Sparkle. Yeah. How about this? Freak out. How about this? Oh my God. I have got to be visible. Well, I'm so used to what? Hiding. And then all of a sudden I got to start opening that door. That door where there's a heart that is tender. That heart that is frightened, because that is a heart that is living the memories of experiences that I had that said, don't shine. Who even shine? I don't know. Who am I not to shine? Well, you're shining too bright. Okay. You know, you're too loud. Let somebody else talk. I mean, I got that wrong, because I'm the talker. Yeah, my teachers did the best with what they had. Which really was pretty amazing. No. But I don't claim it. Who else is going to claim it, right? Yeah, I know to claim it. So, part of the process of stepping out and sparkling means we have to be willing. There's got to be willing to be willing. And I don't know if I shared this here or not, but I remember when I first started in crack studies in science of mind, and I met with the minister, and I was freaking out because I had to take that step of faith. And she said to me, "Are you willing?" I said, "No." No. I said, "It freaks me out. I want it, but I don't know how willing I am." And she said, "Well, are you at least willing to be willing?" And I thought I could own that. I could honestly own that I am willing to be willing. I'm gonna do two more and then we'll put that on just a second. After being willing, I had to learn to open. Am I willing to be willing, and then am I willing to open my heart, to open my mind? And then am I willing to trust? Am I willing to trust? And am I willing to own? So those are some steps we'll look at. Let's go ahead and listen to this video. They've just been informed that they cannot. You got the sound going? Still working on it. Yay for our team! You know, hey, you know what? Stuff happens. Sliding in a little bit here, and it's what's happening here. So, anyway, so when you have to be willing to be willing. There you go, there you go. Thank you.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, when the same blood wanna drown me out, I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. I'm gonna send a bird, gonna drown a man. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
And you know, what you see right now is Morgan, thank you so much, and Judy, thank you. Thank you for preparing for the next one, thank you for doing the work. And I mean that, not just because of this, but you know, this was a must for us. So, we see a finished version, don't we? And oftentimes we'll see a finished version, but we don't realize what has gone in to the creation of that version. And we're going to show a video of that, give you an idea in a moment. But it's the same way too when we start this journey of learning to love ourselves, learning to own the sparkle and the light that we are. Because there's a whole lot inside sometimes that we've picked up over the years, from school, from families, from society, from TV and movies that say, you have to be this in order to be this. And if you're not this, then something's missing. How dare you claim yourself to be if you're not perfect? I mean, look at all the magazines that talk about perfection, right? A lot of them. So we have this image, and whether we realize that or not. And so part of the journey of being willing is being willing to own and open our hearts to something more. And part of that is opening them up to the voices and the memories that have been inside us, that kind of got locked in there somehow, some way, as we're experiencing and we make our way on, making sure that we're safe and protected. And the way we used to deal with them served us, but they don't anymore. They hinder us. They keep us hidden. And I'm real good at that. I'm getting better at being a sparkler. But to be willing to step out into the light of my own being, I see shadows. How many of you started into this field and it felt great when you first started? You're like, this rocks. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what's going on? I'm discovering all this things and it doesn't feel good. And I thought this was really going to work for you. Well, it is working. Because your light is getting bigger. Your light is shining more. And what happens is it shines anything that's we're wanting to stay in the shadow. What do? We begin to notice it more, don't we? Not because we failed, but simply because we are succeeding. Because that might be a little shadow that's been there a long time that we have no idea is there, and how it's affecting how we're engaging in the world. But because we've chosen to move forward in trust, to open our hearts, to be willing, to be open and trust and vulnerable, we start to experience a light we may not be conscious of, that light within us. And then all of a sudden we become aware of the thoughts that we hold that, ooh. Because I'm telling you, as I'm evolving and growing, it's amazing how I'm going, ooh, I don't know how to deal with that much happiness. Really? I'm not sure. This feels really good. I'm used to struggling. Yeah. So when we are in that space, it's real important. Again, loving ourselves, being gentle. If you saw a wounded individual or a wounded child or a wounded animal hurting, what would you do? Would you kick it? No, I wouldn't either. Yeah. And I would pick it up. But how many times have you gone to pick up a wounded animal and wants to bite you? Right, because it's hurt, it's frightened, it doesn't know what you're going to do. And so there might be parts of ourselves that are like that wounded animal, that are hurt, and they're like, yeah, bull. I have another one I'm going to add to that, but I won't. So, yeah, bull. And so it resists that part of ourselves. And then we think, well, I'm here, going to be met. This is all I can expect. Well, no. It's just when you've come up against something now, that you have an opportunity to allow it in and say, I allow that which this has for me, this memory which feels so painful. I'm going to allow it to come into my life and teach me something beautiful about me. But it may mean that I'm going to feel what it felt like to have that pain. Then again, it may not. But I'm open to knowing that what I'm learning is going to be in the highest and best good for me. Because that's what I'm choosing for me. That's the power that we talk about in New Thought. That's the power they talk about in Unity. It's the power they talk about in Science of Mind. We stand guard by the words we say and what we choose. So we can choose to say, this hurts like a son of a gun, and I'm going to know it's going to support and nurture me. Okay? Now, in that first song you saw, a lot of her, it was out here. She was fighting against those people who were putting her down. Well, I want you to imagine now that those things that are out there were really just the things that were resting within our own consciousness. And those were the things that, oh, it's not so big and bold. It's sometimes the darkness of night at 3 p.m. going, oh, you know? Or this, so you get up and you sit in your journal, because you got to journal it out, you know? Or you read, or whatever you do to move through the process. Because what's happening is as you're doing that, you're creating that space of love, which tells that little one in you that it's okay. I've got you. I feel you. I sense you, my little one. And we're going to take this movement forward. We're going to take a step forward. Now, sometimes that's easy. Sometimes we need help. So there are opportunities. There are people who are gifted in helping to draw this out of you. There are organizations. One book I really love is by Melanie Beatty called Codependent No More. Awesome book on how to own our own presence and power in the world. How to give back to those, you know, with whom we felt responsible, that we could turn it back over. Because the very light of love is present within them as it is with us. Now, this is a journey. Sometimes it's like an ugly duckling face. I mean, I don't know how many of you have ever been where, you know, that you're just like, I'm not my most attractive right now. You know, my hair is all disheveled, I'm in my pajamas because I don't want to get out of bed because I'm pissed off and sad and all this, you know. So it's like, sometimes it's not pretty. But if I keep going on, step at a time, and trusting the light, even though it's just a little light, I'm going to trust it because I want that more than the pain. I want that more than the loss. I want that more than the idea that I'm this victim. Because dang nabbit, I'm telling you what, I'm not a victim. No. And what I want you to see in this is the same woman in this video. I want you to see the same woman who sang that song, and you see it for the trail. And now I want you to see the process that this individual, in her rehearsals, went through to be able to claim that song. Not as a vocalist, but as a singer. And you're going to notice as she does it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. That's all right.
It's just with this new song. And we knew that it was going to be this is your moment.
This has got an overview, and it'll show, I'm sure, with the music in a minute. But what he's telling the audience is he's saying, you know, when she started to sing this is a song about claiming who she was. And when she first started her rehearsals, this is where she sang. Behind a podium. Day after day after day when they rehearsed this song. And he finally said, hey man, you gotta step outside behind that podium. You gotta own the song. And so this day, in this rehearsal, was when she chose to own that song. And you're gonna watch, and I want you to watch how what she does affects all the other vocalists in the room, the musicians in the room. And I also want you to watch what she does when she has stepped out in a way that feels so big, she's freaking. And who she reaches to for help.
Step out to the ring because that's what you're doing. You're going to stand right there in front of everyone and just belt this out.
I want to, if I could sit behind that music stand until the day of that competition, there was so scared that I had to actually grab Hugh's hands, but I had somebody to hold on to. And then we got to the end of the number, and all I remember is just Tiffany. Honestly.
It was one of those moments that will stay with me the rest of my life. I wish I felt
They got to write music, you can't really hear the passion. And if we can't get it, because of technical difficulties arise, I'm going to encourage you to take a moment, if you are interested, and look up the rehearsal for this, because it truly is beautiful. you see her and witness her moving through the fear, the magnitude of that fear, standing up and owning her own voice. How many of you feel some level of fear when you have to own your own voice? Yeah. Anybody have one thing that you do that helps you realign yourself? Breathe. That's a great start. Breathe. Yeah, breathe. Anybody else? Okay, we call on the name of Jesus. Yes. Anybody else?
Journal.
What?
Journal.
Oh, you journal. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Yes.
I go outside and I look at the world.
Yeah, you go outside and look at the world. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Thank you. This is good because we think it has to be something huge and big. Sometimes it's just that thing that when we do it, we feel a little better than doing it. Okay. Is this it?
I don't think so.
I think we had something else. There was a different YouTube video open at the same time. So
There's your light.
Ashamed of all the scars, run away. They say, come on, love you as you are. But you won't let them bring me down. I know that there's a place for us. For we are warriors. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, gonna sing back, gonna drown my love. I know who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I want you to know to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make all my dreams. This is me. Sharpest words want to cut me down. Gonna send a fire to the trial around. This is free. This is who we want it to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. This is me. Isn't that awesome? Could you feel the impact that she just owned? Her beauty, her magnificence. She didn't have to heal anybody. She didn't have to go out and change. She just became her. And by being her,
her what happened. A lot of hearts are, huh? Yeah, she engaged. And what did they do? Just by her simply doing that, yeah. That's right, they supported and encouraged her to come, to shine, right? And see, that's what, when we step out in our own ways, to simply be the light that we are, to engage and move through the fears that takes courage, but to move through those little fears, to call our friend, please hold my hand because I am flipping out. I don't need to borrow long, but just hold me while I need it. Or listening or whatever, doing whatever she needed to do. I watched the guy on the back, doing this. And the people behind her, singing or moving, you feel it. And so that's what it's about. And that's the power of simply us owning our own magnificence. Because we give permission for others to do the same. And when we do that, and we give from the gift of our own being. So I want you to take that in with me for just this moment. And just acknowledge you. Wonderful, marvelous, magnificent you. If you need to breathe it in. However. And if it's difficult to acknowledge that, say, I'm willing, or maybe even, I'm willing to be willing to own this. And then watch what unfolds. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to be present. Thank the tech team. Thank you for your engagement. And we're going to go ahead now and move into I think this is the right thing, right? Move into the love offering. It's a love shower. I say it all the time, but I don't know it's my area, so I say, well, you might go for the center because we look at the space, so do we do the singing first and then all right, let's do the offering. So let's acknowledge right now how good it feels to be who we are. And it is in that appreciation that which we have to give, we give. We just simply give of our heart, of our mind, of our finances, of our energy. Giving that which feels right to us. Knowing that it blesses this community and creates other opportunities for people to connect and get to know more fully themselves. And so please say with me, as the ushers come forward, we're going to bless the offering by affirming this. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I see.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me,
service. And bless each one of us to give us. And so in that, we just simply acknowledge gratitude and give thanks. As we say, and so it is.
Right, we ready for our transformational opportunities? So we have our reading circle back again. Our next circle will be on June 5th at 12:30, just following the service. So it's a couple weeks out, put it on your calendar. We have more permanent name tags available, so people weren't liking the sticky ones. We've got permanent ones. You can keep it, stick it in your purse, keep it in your car, or pick it up and leave it in the coat room back here. And then our Sacred Feminines Women's Group meets in person on Wednesday from 10:30 to noon. And then we have Sacred Drumming on the 6 p.m. on second Wednesday of the month. I can't figure out what that is in June right now. It was just a couple weeks ago, and it'll be a couple weeks from now too. June 8th, it says it on my paper. And then Dan Studebaker, who is here with us this week, so say hi. He moved out to Portland, and he was doing a book club group, and he still does it. It's on Zoom. It's first and third Wednesdays of the month, so talk to him if you want to learn more about it. Also, we're starting up some more Zoom things. The Venus Rising will be coming back on Monday mornings from 10 to 12. It's going to be on Zoom, and you're going to talk to Victoria, who's sitting right next to Dan. And then if you're not already signed up for the Kroger and Amazon things, go ahead and do that. It does add up. I pulled out mine, I ordered something, and it tells me my family is donating $17.42. And that's over a couple years with a couple things, but it also told me Unity of Dayton has received $687.08 total. So these things add up, super easy way of giving back. Another way of giving back that is enriching for yourself as well is ushering. We had our 3 people up here moving around. They greeted you when you came in today. I know I love it when I'm here early and I get to say hi to everybody. It makes me feel super fulfilled and like I am part of this community. What can I do? Where am I at? And I get to know all of you. And it's great. So if you want to be an usher, talk to Sue. She is the one waving. And we will get you the very minor training that you need, and you'll be good to go and pick a Sunday and just say hi to everybody. And then the last one I have is our late spring wake up and cleaning and ceiling repair and all sorts of stuff on Sunday, June 12th. Plan to stick around. We're gonna do a little bit of weeding. We're gonna do some little minor repair paint job things. And yeah, we'll be here probably until about 2:30, so pack a small lunch and we'll have fun. It'll be a great time. I always look forward to it. It's a fun time. You get to talk to each other and not have to sit there and listen to somebody else. You get to do things together. Alrighty. Is there anything else you guys can think I put on list? No? Alrighty. Then thank you to our StreamYard team and all of the people watching online. We made it through. We'll get there. Remember, you are the light of the world.